Hey, it's Mary Lambert, and you're checking out my interview Backstage at One Starry Night.
Star 101.3.
Backstage at the Warfield, we are making time with Mary Lambert, our favorite. I want to clap right now, but
Me too. I want to clap. I want to clap too. That felt good.
So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
The last time we saw you was backstage at the radio station. You were playing us your new song.
Yeah, I was, and I was right before I put all the water down. I remember
She remembers.
That. Yeah. Secrets.
That was a fun interview, you guys.
Everybody was nervous, and all the bottles of water got knocked over.
Yeah, it's like, you know, my diva move.
Whatever. Check out my song.
It was so cute though because it hadn't come out on the radio yet, and it was just like becoming public-y, like that day or later that day, and it was like Christmas for her. She was opening the presents.
I had so much fun.
I know.
Well, it's like because the album took me about 9 months.
Right.
And then Secrets was like the first thing that people heard. So it was like I had a baby, and I'm like, look at my baby.
Look at my baby. Call my baby pretty. Do it. No? Is it like that?
Exactly like that. Isn't it nice?
I'm obsessed with the song too because it's so relatable to so many of us who are tired of pretending that we have to be perfect.
Yes.
And I feel like you're so rebellious in that way of, you know what? This is me. I'm exhausted. Deal with it.
Yes.
Yeah? Do you do things that you feel the industry like kind of says, maybe you shouldn't, or what's your view on that?
Yeah, I think what's great is like having my breakout song be Same Love. There's this inherent, I guess, politicism and like I guess way that I do things that is already embedded in my first song. So that's how people know me, is this like that attitude. I guess my authentic self is inextricable from my like public identity. So I get to express that in my music and in my personal life. So I feel like I have it really good. I have it really easy.
To connect it all the way back, and you sang the hook on Macklemore's Same Love, and you've known those guys for a long time. Macklemore, Ryan Lewis, because this whole Seattle connection or whatever. I saw the Instagram of the two of you together backstage at some show. Where was that?
Recently, right?
Yeah, it was like a couple days ago for it was a Seattle holiday show for the radio station. And Ben came and we did Same Love, and it was really it was really neat.
Did your whole like last year flash before your eyes?
Totally. It was like, I can't believe that he is coming to guest on a show of mine. Like, it just felt really cool.
Well, plus you're from there, correct? That's your area, your hometown.
So it was a really cool show to do, and like that radio station was the station that I grew up like listening to, like staying up until midnight hoping to hear my favorite Michelle Branch song. You know. What
was it like hearing not just Same Love, but Secrets on the radio for the first time?
It was a totally different experience because Same Love it's like this thing where the track was already done. So I found a way, like, how can I elevate this? How can I be a part of this? And so in that sense, it felt like a collaborative. Like I was a part of something much bigger. Secrets felt like
your baby.
I was there the night that it happened, you know, and just the whole process of it, like I just saw the entire story, and so the fact that people liked it and also wanted to hear it on the radio too is a cool feeling. You're
someone I want to listen to and just hang out with. Like, she's so nice all the time. Like, even if you're having a bad day, I don't know if you're just really good at acting or you just know how to handle it, but I'm like, how do you keep your positive attitude?
I vibe off of other people. Like, if we're cool, like, we can have an awesome time. Like, I have a hard time with people with, like, shitty attitudes, because I'm like...
Well, there's a lot of dudes in this industry, and a lot of them are kind of, and you hugged all of them right away. You hugged everyone tonight, and I was like, look at her go. She doesn't care.
I will break them. I will break you down and win you over.
Why do I feel like we're going to arm wrestle at the end? And I'm going to lose. That's how that's going to end. So in the last year or so, is it everything that you expected and more, or since Same Love and since Secrets, and it just has I know it's exploded because I watch it all over social media, but when it gets overwhelming, what do you do?
You have to remember that you're a whole person, and you were a person before any saturation or any media, and that's what's nice about it. I think because I get to be my authentic self, like on stage and off of stage, I don't have that sort of identity issue, I think, that maybe some singers have. Like, I'm the same person that you'll see on the stage as I am right now, and with the people I'm hanging out with, it's not that identity is consistent. So for me, it's just remembering that I'm human, and then also being able to claim and say I am deserving of time by myself, or I don't don't owe anybody anything. I made the music I got to make, and if I feel like, you know, being extroverted and having a good time and engaging, then I can do that, but I don't owe anybody that.
Right. Don't you have a book of poems that you released? What is the title? Because I wanted you to talk about that for a second.
Yeah, it's called 500 Tips for Fat Girls. Which is like, it's pretty tongue-in-cheek because because it's actually a pretty dark collection of poetry. Sure. And like my advice book would like consist of drinking 5 margaritas and falling on the floor. Like, there you go. There's your advice.
That's universal advice. It's fine.
So, but it's a collection of poetry I released about 2 or 3 years ago.
Right.
And I'm working on the next one.
So we're at the end of the year. It's like December. What does the next few months look like for you? Is there anything you want to do next year that's not on, you know, on the schedule yet, that you're like, I have to do this?
There's like some really interesting things happening for my career that I get to sort of explore, because I released my pop album, which is what I wanted to do, and now I get to sort of re-examine my activist side. So there's some things I'm doing that are more activist-y, social justice-y, and that's
what kind of organizations are you involved in?
I don't know if I can say yet, but I'm really excited. I think I want to wait to say.
What causes are you most interested and passionate about?
Well, obviously gay rights.
Right, of course.
Anything to do with eating disorders or body dysmorphia. Anything to do with social justice, systemic racism, anything that I can
vote
get
for you for president?
Yes, absolutely.
You need to run for office.
I would love to. I wanted to go into politics before music, which is like all very...
It could still happen, you never know.
Yeah, maybe. It seems very stressful.
So, on that tip, what would you say to somebody if it was a young person that was having a rough day, or maybe they're getting bullied, maybe they're not feeling great about themselves? What's some advice for them? I mean, the whole kind of it gets better movement is very profound to me.
Yeah.
But past that, something tangible that they can take with them through their day to make them feel better and know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
I think what really helped me through coming out, through like just figuring out who I was, being comfortable with my identity, was finding a community of people. So you have to find that safe space, and if you can't find that safe space, you have to create it. And I think that's what's most important about all of it, is just finding that community of people that you can feel safe around. It is like, it's a luxury, it is a privilege to feel safe around a community of people. And I think we have to sort of remember that, especially if you're sort of on the marginalized fringes. Like, finding that community is like so important.
I think the moment that you realize that other people are struggling with the same things you are, even though you think their lives are perfect, that's when a lot of the healing happens.
Yeah, the humanity.
Yeah, always a huge fan of yours. Mary Lambert opening up the show tonight. We're backstage at One Starry Night. Pick up her book. What's the book called again, the poetry book?
It's called 500 Tips for Fat Girls. It's on sale. I have all my merch is on sale for Christmas time.
Absolutely. The album is out now. It's fantastic. We're such huge fans. Thanks for hanging out with us.